Good day, team. Today we are moving on to day three of our refresher program on management business administration during and post-crisis scenario. Today's topic is all about managing business and people, and we have today an expert, Mr. Mohan Tilak. He's a co-founder and CEO of Claritas Tech Labs, and he is going to give us his insight on how far the placement is getting affected and what are the expectations of the industry. So he's the right person to share his expertise. So now I just hand over to Mr. Mohan Tilak. Thank you so much.
Ganapati for the wonderful introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. It gives me great pleasure to connect with the gurus across the country who I always admire for a great profession, and I always give great respect to my gurus, and whatever today I am is because of my gurus. So hats off to you for your noble profession, and that too during this pandemic situation, your efforts to reach out to the student community, help the student community in imparting them the knowledge and bringing them fruitful to the needs of the industry. At this stage, let me also congratulate the student community, my fellow management graduates who are part of this training program, who have the interest in taking up knowledge gathering as a key component, and who really wants to know where the industry goes during this pandemic situation. My best wishes to the future entrepreneurs and the industrialists who is going to buy from this academic community. Let me thank Dr. Vijay for this wonderful opportunity, and the topic given today, an excellent topic, managing business and people during and post COVID-19 and academia's preparedness to manage placements and industry expectations post COVID-19. A very good topic to talk about, and this could be taken as a very good case study for the students to understand where the industry goes, how each and every industry is operating, how the industries are overcoming their various issues during this pandemic situations, how the communication channel happens among industries, how different verticals and different industries face the challenges that is happening, right from logistics, right from supply chain, right from procurement, right from management of inventory, right from supply to the customers, right from reaching out to the customers, lot of things. It's very challenging, the whole business continuity process. So the whole world is talking about something called as scenario management. How do we handle this current scenario? The whole world now has a caption called scenario management. So I'll take a case study of my company. Before going into the case study of my company, probably, I don't know if how many of you heard of Dr. Raghuram Rajan, former RBI governor, in an interview to India Today, has given a very good statement. Hope this temporary shock doesn't become a permanent shock. Absolutely, this lockdown is a very big shock for all of us. We all, from the industry or from anybody for this matter, wouldn't have thought that this lockdown would happen in such a short span and would affect communication and connectivity across the globe. So, how do we manage this situation? The first is managing the business out of this situation. So, what I thought, probably I'll give a case study of my own company, as I run a small software company based out of OMR and Hyderabad with a team strength of around 80 people. So, there have been similar businesses, all small businesses, thousands of those small businesses who would have gone through the same scenario. So, this could be a very good case study for you guys, for the students especially, to analyze how industries really approach to a problem, that too when you are at a critical problem. So coming to our situation, when there were situations where the rumors were coming out, and then when people coming from abroad were stringently checked and put on lockdown for 14 days, house lockdown or something of that sort, we prepared ourselves just at least 3 or 4 days before the lockdown was announced. The first thing that we started creating is dividing our teams into 3 sectors. And even before the creating of the teams into 3 sectors, what we thought, first the infrastructure should be ready for us to ensure that our customer satisfaction is of high priority. The services that is being rendered to our customers should not starve down because of this lockdown. There had been customers who volunteered and stopped business with this breakdown from international countries like UK and US. That's a different story. But for the customers with whom we are already serving both in India and abroad, we thought that the continuity, that is called in our management jargon, it is called business continuity management. So in the business continuity management is what is the scenario management that falls part of this business continuity management. So what we thought, first is having the proper infrastructure readiness. So we ensured that we called for a meeting with all the employees, had an HR get together and given them the first-hand information about what's happening now and how to address this pandemic situations, as we always believe that safety of the individuals is very important. So the employees were run through a separate session on how safe and hygiene they need to be, being young boys and girls and everyone. We have educated them to first take care of their personal hygiene. There is a saying that a human approach in a tough time can go a long way in securing trust as well as people. So people believed in our words and they were open to take up the risk and move forward. So what we did, we opened, being an SMEs, I do not know, small businesses like us, so all of a sudden if you need to procure laptops for 80 people, it's not going to happen. Probably out of the 80, we have 30 people having laptops. But balance 50, how do we manage? How do I get a laptop? So we opened it to the employees and asked them whoever has got their laptop to bring their laptops. Almost 70% had their personal laptops and they were volunteering to bring their laptops for official use. So that solved 50% of our problem, and the balance 30% of employees, we happen to rent out laptops or whatever it is and manage to ensure that everyone are ready with first the system. So now the system is ready and then becomes the tools. Okay, our system alone cannot form full customer support service. So then becomes the configuration and all software installation and all those things. So that happens as the second phase. Our IT system, our IT support analysts, they were very proactive in configuring all the laptops for the employees within a day. And 2 days prior to the COVID lockdown announcement itself, we were prepared to handle the situations to an extent of 80%. This is what is planning. This is what is the business continuity planning or the scenario planning. Be prepared for the worst situation. If you are prepared for the worst situation, definitely yes, you will be able to sail through. This is what is the jargon we followed. The leadership team first sat for the discussion, analyzed what the situation is, then we sorted out 1, 2, 3, 4. First is getting the laptops, second is installing the software in place, and third is making people segregate. Immediately what we did, the first priority is to make people who are commuting through public transport, which is vulnerable to the threats that is through cough and other. So the first approach was people who have been coming through public transport was given all the facilities to work from remote and happened to make them work from home. That compensated to 30% of the employee workforce. And then comes to the balance employees. 2 days prior to the lockdown, we have planned in such a way that everything is ready and the system is ready, and we have made the employees who were coming from the remote places of Tamil Nadu, almost 80% of my employees are from the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities of Tamil Nadu, and they were asked to move out. They were asked to move back to their hometowns. Saturday, from Sunday the lockdown is announced. Saturday, my people are there in their hometowns. So strategically, my approach to employees is a human approach. I always carry the best trait humans have is their ability to adapt to things and manage to survive in every kind of situations. This thought process was shared to my employees, though they carry on their own, but still again shared to their employees, to our employees. A separate session was conducted to employees division-wise and told the need for them to continuously work from their home. There will be challenges for people to connect from home or work from home, but the software professionals or the engineers were trained, were motivated or made to understand, to know that boss, they are supporting a business, they are not just engineers, and their support is very critical for the business continuity, and first level of motivation to work from home seamlessly has been given to the employees. Now they have gone back to their hometowns, now becomes the connectivity. All we thought, everyone will have a seamless connectivity through their mobile phones and broadband, but unfortunately there are challenges, because the remote parts of the state were not that much equipped with connectivity over broadband or high-speed mobile data. So we happen to have some other approaches to curtail high processes into separate services, low processed separate services, and ensure at least 70% of the overall resources are productive, so that they handle customer support consistently, and the balance 30% can do a support role, or maybe the productivity would be 50%, but still they could complement to the system bus. Now, how do we manage their work? Most of you would be aware any SME like us will have employees ranging from 0 year of experience to say 10-12 years of experience. There will be business heads, leads, managers, leads, and then developers, junior developers, trainees. In a typical mid-level organization like us, when everyone is working on in-house development, there will be a lot of micromanagement. Now, when you work remotely, will micromanagement really work out? This was the question that has arisen when you strategically wanted to manage people. So one thing what the leads volunteered or we came to a conclusion is, rather than micromanaging, we should focus more on output. It is not the number of hours they work is important, it is the work that is very important. So that strategy has helped us give the ownership to the employees, to make them feel free to work irrespective of the hours and be productive for the work they do. The ownership lied with the employees rather than the leaders. They had been given access to various communication tools, reporting on Slack for the work they do, reporting to HR, etc. That is the continued processes. But still, the commitment level from the employees was completely more compared to the expectation or the thought process we had. Okay, now that it's almost 20 days where the people have worked remotely, it is not that just working from remote makes the business run. There have been a lot of challenges in terms of connectivity, commutation, etc. But still, we managed the local team, or were there to support the remote team by proper connectivity, etc. We were also focusing more on employee engagement. Though people had been remote, we had been having frequent calls. The leads used to have daily calls through Zoom, through GoToMeeting, through LinkedIn calls, and through our own Slacks. And then the management team, I used to talk to the employees at least division-wise every week, weekly once. That helped the employees to understand the need for them to commit more to work in spite of the situation where they could probably just enroll and be cool at their home. but they were made to understand the current situation and the need for them to do a timely delivery. The delivery is very important, business continuity is very important. Unless the customer is given whatever is required in the given time, we are not going to be paid. And that was made understood to the employees, and the employees have got it right, and they were able to make their fullest effort. Maybe 8 hours of productivity here got bit extended to 10 hours or 11 hours of productivity. When we see the timesheets of people, I was literally surprised that a lot of people have been putting additional 2 hours of effort in getting their things done. So which is a very good sign for people to, contribute to the business, which ultimately helps the growth of the organization. So apart from this period has helped us also to focus on some of the trainings. Thanks to COVID, there are a lot of trainings which had come free or at subsidized rates. So we also had chalked out certain plans to people to take up online training courses through various modes, including Coursera and etc., and see how best they can upskill themselves. Being an SMB, my resources are always multi-skilled. So this is again an opportunity for them to put some extra effort in upgrading their skills. So these are some of the opportunities for people to, whoever works remotely, to at least have a fulfillment stating that, boss, yes, the company is helping me to get more knowledge. The company is helping me to, irrespective of this situation, the company is helping me to get my work done and pay my salaries. This is one case study as an organization, and this I think is applicable for most of the SMEs like us. But overall, if you see, apart from the processes we apply to our internal systems, this work from home or this lockdown has taught us lot of new things. The first thing that has been taught is you be prepared for any worst situation, and when you manage the situation, today what has happened, the place has got shrunk. Probably this would help you cut down costs in future to reduce the cost of your office infrastructure. Probably you would always use at least 50 or 50% or 25% of your lead materials to work from home with an additional perk or an extra perk. This would help you cut down costs on your operations. Your office space cost per resource is not less than 10,000 rupees. So probably this opportunity, this COVID has given us a very good opportunity, or the whole world, to look at, cut down costs and see how best they can communicate effectively without a face-to-face meeting. Think of the travel cost. The amount of money that would have been spent in travel to different places. I will give you another example. I used to travel to Hyderabad every month and spending almost 25,000 rupees just to meet our team, a small team of around 10 people there in our Hyderabad office. Today what has happened, March meeting and April meeting is conducted through Zoom and LinkedIn. The company has saved 50,000. The travel costs have reduced drastically, which is again one good case study for organizations like us. So if you have an infrastructure readily available, yes, you would be able to work out at any scenarios. On the employee perspective, you become closer to the family. Gone are the days where your mother daily calls you and asks, hey, what have you ate? How are you managing? Now the mother is able to feed her son effectively. I am very much closely, sitting with my family all 24 hours. My kids are so happy. All beyond everything, see the pollution. Pollution's happa. Just walking outside makes you feel so pleasant. Is it not a good sign? If we are able to proactively work, if we are able to prove that, we will be able to serve the customers effectively in very pandemic situation like this. Yes, a system like this, a situation like this, where you have an opportunity to not even to work all 365 days remotely, probably the industry would evolve in looking at an option where people will have the option. SMEs like us, large companies always have that option. People have the option to work from home, but SMEs like us would explore possibilities of working from home. So the key things the employees would, whatever the employees would like to hear from the management has been shared to the employees frequently, because organization like us has always had the threat of employee retention. Okay, employees shouldn't feel like they are isolated. Employees shouldn't feel that they are stressed. What happens when you work in an office? If someone has got an issue, there will be someone, a colleague near you, would immediately help you and say, boss, there is a problem in the code, just clear this. But when you work remote, though you get telephonic advice, but it's up to the employee to learn and fix his own bugs. That is one great advantage also. That's a great advantage where individual commitment goes up. So the employees' fears like isolation or the fear of non-working and all those things have been managed effectively. We understood, as an organization, we understood wherever people were not able to connect effectively. Probably they may not have worked for 8 hours because of the connectivity issues, where the companies understand and ensure that their effective 1 month work commitment is not affected. So this could be a case study where 80% of the SMEs like us would follow. So management graduates, you would be able to analyze this far better when you look at industry wise, vertical wise. Okay, now that you manage the current situation, so what happens post? Say today we are talking of distancing of 1 meter. What happens on May 3rd? A production environment need to be opened, and you need to have at least 10,000 employees coming to Chennai. How do they communicate? How do they commute? And after coming in a production environment, everyone has to collaborate and work. Would you be able to ask everyone to distance at 1 meter and work? So I throw light open to the management graduates here to analyze. There will be a lot of sayings, right from Tech Mahindra and Mahindra, right from TVS Lucas, right from other manufacturing companies. The chairmen and the managing directors have shared their views as to how they would look at managing their employees when they come back from home. Everyone sees there is a challenge. They say if 25,000 employees come, and if they need to accommodate our large 25,000 employees now, especially the migrant workers, it would be very difficult that to keeping at a social distance. So all these things need to be thought of, where it would be a very good case study for people, management people, for you to understand, analyze, talk out and see how best we can arrive at a possible solution and recommend to the relevant stakeholders to work effectively. Look at the continuity of the business. If you had seen the stock market on January 31st, Sensex stood at 40,000 and odd. On March 22nd, it slashed down to 26,000 and odd. 52-week low, and today it stands at 30k plus. So which means people have accepted the situation and business has started happening. So we, irrespective of the situation, the industry and everyone have started looking at doing business and accepted the situation and moving around. One of the great things that retail business units need to look at is connectivity. Today, in this scenario, the chatbots play a major role in helping the companies to reach out to their customers effectively, giving them information about the latest updates from the customer, from the vendor to the customer, and whatever information they sought from the corporate. We have built our own chatbot called a Claribot, which is out in the market, where these chatbots help give information to the client and the employees seamlessly, where the information is fed in the back end and given instantly, which reduces the work of the customer support executive. In the place of 100 customer support executive, you can have 10 chatbots, which means the chatbots are trained with all the questions that is frequently asked by the customers and fed in the back end, and will give an interactive response to the customers. These chatbots will help give all the information that is required by the customer, and when the chatbot is not able to answer to the customers, it is moved seamlessly to the customer support assistant. So where there were 10 customer support executives, you may have one or two who would take over from the chatbot and then look at the history of the interactions that has happened between the client and the bot, and then accordingly respond to the client rather than repeating the questions by the client. So that is the level of technology growth that has happened now. Please visit claribot.com, which is our product. We, as a value addition to COVID-19, we are supporting a separate COVID bot called Claribot/COVID-19, where the information from Ministry of Health Affairs, Government of India, Ministry of Health Affairs, Government of Tamil Nadu, and WHO information have been fully fed into the backend chatbot, and customers or the end users would be able to get instant information about the latest COVID trend. If you want to know what is the situation in Chennai now, you will be able to get into the chatbot and ask a question, what is the current status in Chennai? You will get instant information. As a value addition, we have extended this to the corporates and all business houses to use this free of cost at this juncture, at this COVID situations. Colleges can opt to utilize this chatbot to feed their information about the colleges on the back end, so that anything on admission, anything on students' examination, or any information for the new persons who are looking at your website would be able to easily interact with the bot and get the information. Training the bot is seamless. It is not like as early it was happening, where the questions could be crawled from the website itself and it could be seamlessly converted into questions, which helps without a customer support executive. You would be able to address, the bot will be able to address the queries of your potential clients, and the data will be stored in the database, which will be retrieved by your college admin or anyone, and help them communicate with that potential client and make business out of it. So technology plays a major role in overcoming the current COVID situations and help them make business continue. Given the time constraints, probably I would come to the closure of this topic, industry's expectation from the industry, from the academia. There is always a gap between industry and academia. Use this lockdown to see how best we can bridge this gap between the industry and academia. See what are all the expectations that comes from the industry in terms of communication, skill development, technical skills, communication skills, etc. I would say I've been working with a lot of academicians for more than a decade. I know all academicians are very busy in assignments, accreditations, unit assessments, semester exams, results, closures, giving 100%, etc. But at least now you have a break to see how we can utilize the time to leverage on technology and bridge this skill gap. My simple suggestion would be to maybe do a small strategy within yourself, be it management or be it technology or anything for that matter. Understand, maybe create groups. The first step is to create groups. If your class has say 50 students, probably if there are 10 academicians, probably based on the interest group, create interest group. That is called as the like-minded team. The like-minded team probably would be in the areas of finance, probably in the areas of marketing, systems, technology, core areas, etc. Create groups and see what is the current level of credibility or the current level of knowledge or current level of worthiness of the student. Do an assessment remotely and see, let the student voluntarily come and say, I have these gaps. And maybe utilize this opportunity to bridge that gaps. Today, a lot of tools are available. Most of the training companies have given free online courses right from technology to the core, including mechanical, civil, electrical, etc. So this could be an excellent opportunity to make yourself help the students be skilled. Skill development is critical. See, the expectation from the industry. Say for example, if you utilize this opportunity for your students to build skills in data science, analytics, cloud, machine learning, these are some of the latest trends that's happening. Management graduates, digital marketing forms a great role. Gone are the days where you carry your bags and go street by street to do your marketing. Today, 80% of the business happens in digital marketing. I myself have trained almost 15 management graduates in digital marketing in the last 1 year through your industry academia programs. So this could be an excellent opportunity for the grads to work along with the academicians and bring in your alumni inside the system. You create an ecosystem where your alumni would be able to form part of this integral system and create an ecosystem where you connect all your students, professionals or your alumni and the academicians together, where your student would be able to get mentored from the industry person, that is your alumni, as well as from the academician. Now that we have enough time, communication is there. Ask for a guest lecture from your alumni to a group of people. It could be 5, 10, 50 or 100. Zoom helps you to communicate with even 100 people together. Today my daughter studying in 5th standard has got Zoom sessions at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 a.m. and 3 p.m. Sorry, 12 noon and 3 p.m. So why not we leverage on this technology? So academicians, you have a major role to play to bridge this industry academia divide. Have the students be very strong in the fundamentals. What we see from the industry is the students lag in their fundamentals, and it becomes very difficult for industry people to train on them on the fundamentals. So focus on the fundamentals, make them strong on the fundamentals and learn certain technologies in this breakdown period. Probably most of the academicians would have heard of www.procademia.com, which is my yet another company's online mentoring platform, which was guided by Dr. Abdul Kalam. In fact, Dr. Abdul Kalam was to launch that July. Unfortunately, he passed away. And this platform enables all the stakeholders of education to come together. Students, professionals and academicians. Students will be able to get mentored from the industry professionals, and the academicians will be able to bring people from the industry for any academic related activities, including guest lectures, seminars, part-time faculties, etc. Ultimately, what we wanted to do is to create a very strong alumni ecosystem where students join this portal as a student and be in this portal for lifelong. He starts his career as a student, and in 4 years he becomes a fresher, and then when he joins a company he becomes a junior professional, and when he becomes 5 years experience he becomes senior professional and he starts mentoring his students. This is an excellent opportunity which is available free of cost for all the people to use it, and we are releasing the version 2 in the coming month, where it will be very user friendly. So people can utilize this opportunity to collaborate between you people. Students, professionals. So student will get mentored, will get connected. Today, connectivity is the key. If a student comes from, say, down parts of Tirunelveli to Chennai, he doesn't have anyone to connect. Through this platform, if he is able to connect with his alumni, when he comes, he has someone to just help him or handhold him. Ultimately, what we wanted to do through this ecosystem is, whatever knowledge he has gained through mentoring from the professional, he either gets a job there with that professional, or at least with the knowledge whatever he has gained, he goes to the industry and says, boss, I have this knowledge, I have got the skill, so you get me and give me an opportunity. So this is where the industry preparedness is coming into picture, where we had made a huge investment in this initiative, which is now given free of cost to students and the academicians to create an ecosystem within your college, bring in your alumni to collaborate, get the latest learnings, get the knowledge, and be prepared for the situation that is post-COVID. The next placement session, with your effective utilization of tools like online tools like Zoom and other things, plus Procademia.com, which could be an effective collaborative tool for creating goals, creating tasks, managing day-to-day activities, and having your alumni database together and alumni interaction facilities. So these are the things which I thought I would share to you today as my insight, and this could be an excellent opportunity for us at this lockdown period to groom ourselves. So to summarize or to conclude, if you say if this lockdown is really worrying, it's definitely not. It is an opportunity for grads like you to utilize the technology, leverage on the technology, utilize technology for your growth, learn, upgrade your skill, enhance your skill, stand away from the crowd, and once your placement activity happens, you become a professional in the industry. All the best, team. I am happy to take up questions and we can interact extensively. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the opportunity.